Environmental impacts on our coastal communities have never been greater. From pollution to climate change, coastal communities are at ground zero. The Surf and River Report brings you the latest developments impacting our coastal communities. We'll talk with experts about how environmental pollution, development, and climate change is affecting our coastal and river ecosystems. It's all right here on the Surf and River Report.
April 6th, 2012, approximately 10 a.m. at the Ormond Beach.
Hi, my name's Al Sanders. Can I speak to your enforcement person? I'm trying to get some information about this heavy equipment that's operating on the beach. It's like a front end loader backhoe combination, and they're going up and down between Hueneme and Oxnard. So City of Oxnard should be involved, and City of Port Hueneme and all these other agencies. And of course, you know, I came down here without phone numbers, and this is pretty typical of how these events happen. You come down to, you know, look at the view or whatever, and next thing you know, you're in the middle of a crime scene. Called up the Coastal Commission, or I guess actually you would have to apply to either the City of Oxnard or Port Hueneme for a coastal development permit to be doing this, and that should be. It's both. He's moving from Port Hueneme across the boundary to the City of Oxnard, so there should be 2 coastal development permits, and of course, you know, I would be appealing that if it was possible. No, he's up on the sand, and he's got this front end loader with backhoe, and he's going at least a quarter mile. Oh geez, he's down by the lagoon area right now. I can't tell for sure, but he is to the east of the lagoon that's right in front of, I should say, it's a little bit east and to the front of Halico. So he's a good half mile into Oxnard right now, and I was kind of unprepared for seeing something like this, so I don't have any phone numbers for Fish and Wildlife Service, either city. That would be great. That would be great.
So if you see him, if he's, you can't see what he's doing though? He's not digging, or he's just traveling back and forth? He must be carrying sand back and forth.
He must be doing something like that, and I did see him. It looked like he dumped something over by, you know, that's the area that now is, when the lagoon breaches, it usually breaches down that way. Even though the Watershed Protection District did this EIR where they say that the water likes to breach by Port Hueneme, which is false, incorrect, and it only breaches there when people mechanically open it there, and it you know, erodes away the berm, but that's a subject for another day.
Right. So let me make this phone call. If you guys happen to make a photograph of this guy operating, that might be a good thing to have handy. So.
Yeah. Well, we were shooting this documentary, and I think what we'll do is call time out and go over to Hueneme and try to find out because he must have accessed that area through through Port Hueneme territory.
You can find out who he is or see a sign on a truck or
yeah.
a photograph of him operating or something. I don't know if he's doing anything he's not supposed to be doing at this point, but if he is, then it might be handy to have that photograph.
Yeah. Well, it's there.
It doesn't sound like he should be in there, not with nesting birds.
No.
This is the time of year he should not be in there.
Right. And Yeah, you can possibly call Chris DeLeith because they've been. Chris DeLeith is with Fish and Wildlife Service. He's like the, I think he's like their office manager at this point. He's.
You don't know his number. Where's their office?
Right there in Ventura. I had an old number which apparently isn't working anymore. So.
We have it here.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the call.
Yeah. Thank you, Pat.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, I just talked to Pat Wiesert he's the enforcement officer for the California Coastal Commission for this area. And Mr. Wiesert was wondering what the guy could be doing, and he seems to have set us on a mission to do the investigative work to find out who indeed the person is and why they're down there. But he is, as we speak, calling the Oxnard code enforcement officer to try to find justice for nature. We are collecting evidence. It's hard to convey the essence of like one of these episodes, one of thousands I've been involved in down here. I'm glad that you're being able to observe this, although it's environmentally destructive. Because it's hard to convey what it's like to witness some illegal activity that's harmful to the environment. And you're videotaping this in, live right now, which gives you and your viewers an opportunity to see
What you've seen.
what
how many
I've
times?
seen. It's hard to calculate how many violations I've seen down here at Ormond Beach alone over the last 2 decades. But unfortunately, it's quite frequent, and it comes when you least expect it or have the time to deal with it. And there's a small group of people here in Hueneme and South Oxnard who routinely call me when they see something like this. So. For many years, I've had to be involved in a number of these types of incidents where somebody, sometimes an agency person, is doing something completely inappropriate, and to try to find the right authorities and get them to engage in these activities. But the video you're shooting right now may prove to be very helpful, because at the very least it prevents the party who is, I think, violating state and federal law from claiming, no, we didn't do that. So having video is the absolute best evidence in a situation like this. I have a still camera, which is probably second best.
It's April 5th, 2012, approximately 10 a.m. I'm with Al Sanders with the Ormond Beach Observers here at the Ormond Beach Wetlands. We have witnessed and video documented the traversing of the wetlands by this heavy equipment operator. At least how many times would you say he has gone up and down the beach in this half-mile stretch?
I think we've seen him at least a dozen times.
We're talking 16 to 20 times that this heavy equipment. You realize, Al, if that was some guy with a 4x4 and Fish and Game caught up with him, those are separate counts, aren't they?
Yes.
For each time that you pass through an environmentally sensitive area, right, you're violating the Endangered Species Act.
Right.
So that's one count for each time. This heavy equipment operator has traversed this environmentally sensitive area over 20 times so far.
That's correct.
And he could be here all afternoon.
Yes.
And we're not talking dune buggies. We're not talking lightweight ATVs, ladies and gentlemen. This is a heavy piece of equipment. This is a backhoe front loader that must weigh at least 3 tons, at least 6,000 pounds, if not more, maybe 10,000 pounds.
Well, yes, and if they were to happen upon a nest for western snowy plovers, they certainly would destroy the nest, and it would be a a clear violation of the Endangered Species Act, and it really shouldn't happen. And the fact that he's going from one city, Port Hueneme, to another city, Oxnard, means that he would have to have permits issued by both cities and by the responsible agencies who would comment on the issuance of those permits. And I'm pretty certain that some agencies would have a problem because other parties who are trying to get permits to operate in this area are routinely told, no, you can't operate.
Denied. So this is an obvious violation of many environmental codes. No permitting naturally would even be allowed for this many trips across the sensitive wetlands with heavy equipment. They wouldn't happen.
That's right.
Well, we're on our way to find out for the proper agencies and for Alex Connections, by their request, where this heavy operator is operating from. There he is. Oh, he's just picking up trash.
He's picking up trash.
All that environmental damage because people don't want to get off their duffs and go pick up a little trash.
Environmental impacts on our coastal communities have never been greater. From pollution to climate change, coastal communities are at ground zero. The Serpent River Report brings you the latest developments impacting our coastal communities. We'll talk with experts about how environmental pollution, development, and climate change is affecting our coastal and river ecosystems. It's all right here on the Serpent River Report.
Ormond Beach Observers has had the mission of protecting sensitive habitat area and endangered species for over 22 years. During that time, we've had many victories. We've had a few setbacks as well. We really need your help. If you're interested in helping us, you can send your donations, care of Ormond Beach Observers, to Post Office Box 1210, Port Hueneme, California, 93044. Thank you very much.